Hello Taurus, welcome or welcome back to the Lynx Tarot. This is Monica, and this is your birthday bonus extended reading. And happy birthday to all Taurus suns. Also, this reading also applies to Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node as usual. Special happy birthday to Taurus suns. This is your new year, the beginning of your new year. So let's see what we have for Taurus. This is the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. You've got the Coyote and Revealer of Truth. Yeah, Taurus, I feel like many of you have been kind of going around with this feeling of not knowing something that you really need to know, okay? Like you just need some kind of information or some kind of validation or clarification, wondering why something's not quite clicking, having to do with a certain relationship or situation. Okay, Revealer of Truth. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Yeah, so I want to say, like, don't look too deeply into every little thing hoping that it's a sign or a clue as to an answer you're looking for. If you have to look that hard, it's probably not quite it. It will come to you when you're in a calm state. Okay, make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Yeah, so look for traps and tricks of life. And I mean, that kind of sounds serious, but I feel like one of those things could be like trying to force a tarot reading to apply to you because you want those messages to be yours, but say your intuition is telling you this just isn't for me. Or like I was saying a second ago, don't look too hard for the signs. Be open to them. Be open to noticing the signs. Be open to, being accepting that there are signs and synchronicities here and there, right? And that's all you need to do. But don't force something to be a sign like, oh, I just saw the number 333. That must mean something. It could. It might mean something for you, but you would need to look a little bit deeper, listen to your intuition. Or it might be that you're looking too hard for anything that's a sign, okay? So I think that messages come to us when we're in a calmer state or not expecting them, but we're open to them. Hope that makes sense, Taurus. So I have a lot of decks here. So I'm just going to start here with a couple life coaching oracle. This is the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle. We're going to start with a couple from here. Then we'll go into some tarot. I have more oracle and tea leaf fortune cards. So what else does Taurus need to know? And Taurus, please comment below and let me know when you like to listen to readings, at like what time during the day, or if posting them at a certain time of day is more helpful, if it doesn't really matter. I'd like some feedback. It would be really helpful to me. And like for me, like when I listen to different videos, some people I'm subscribed to, right? Some not, but I listen to them. For me personally, it kind of doesn't matter. If I have notifications on, sure, it's helpful. But I don't always listen to it right at that moment. Sometimes I do. So everybody's different. But for the people that come to this channel regularly, it would be helpful to me to just have an idea, or how often you like to hear readings, what your preferences are. I'm doing some a little bit longer. Mostly I'm like on average 12 minutes, but some I'm going a little bit longer. Some people like that, some don't. So what I'm doing is, as far as the length of the videos, I'm going for what works for me right now. And just take what resonates with you. As always, if you have certain preferences, let me know, because I can do shorter ones, even though I'll still be doing some longer ones. Just want to get a little feedback. I'd appreciate that. Look at this. We have self-love, okay? You are learning that your capacity to love others is directly related to your ability to love yourself. So the message I'm getting here is that if you're feeling really aggravated with someone, maybe you have good reason, but if you're feeling like you're taking it too far or taking personal offense to someone's quirk or idiosyncrasy or something like that, and it's affecting you too much, too deeply, or too agitated, like ask yourself, why is that getting to you? Because you must be agitated or unsatisfied about something within yourself. If something or someone externally is agitating you to that degree, it might not be that big of a deal. And I'm feeling like it's important to ask yourself about your communication skills in that moment. Are you tapping into them, or is it best to go within, like the High Priestess, and be still and quiet, and then maybe revisit with yourself why you are agitated, and ask yourself, do I need to discuss this with that person, or was that just a moment that was all on me? It wasn't that big of a deal. I was in a bad mood, right? But I think it's important to find a way to pause, okay? It's not always that easy. Different things work for different people. Counting to 3 might work for you. It might not, okay? So there might be something specific that would help you to take that deep breath like I just did, or remove yourself temporarily from a situation until you're able to truly decide what it is within yourself that may or may not need to heal. Why are you reacting in the way that you are? I want to say, like, it might be somebody chewing too loud for your taste, right? Like, but maybe they're not doing anything rude and you're just acutely aware of the sound of their chewing in that moment. Like, maybe they're not doing anything impolite, but you're agitated because there's a sound that's bothering you, or maybe specifically a chewing sound is bothering you. Now, I wouldn't recommend you get it from the table and walk off in a huff or anything like that, but maybe excusing yourself for a moment to say, just go wash your hands or something like that, and kind of regroup, recalibrate. Like, I'm feeling like that would really help somebody. You wash your hands, you feel the water, you feel the towel. When you dry your hands, you go sit back down, and it recalibrates you. So that's for someone, not everyone. Hope this helps you, okay? I hope whoever really needed to hear that is here listening right now. We have intuition. So this is a 6, and we had a 3. So 3 and 6. Intuition. You are learning to embrace and trust your inner knowing. And I mentioned the High Priestess, which is about inner knowing. Okay, don't take things too seriously, Taurus, okay? That's that first card with the coyote. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Okay, we have Seeker of Truth. Here we go again. Revealer of Truth was that first card. Now we have Seeker of Truth. 64 mega High Priestess energy in this reading, and we haven't even gotten that tarot card yet. We may not, but I'm getting that energy. You can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances, okay? So there's something that is going to be revealed to you in one way or another. And I think it's going to be something that will seem simple when it finally comes up, and you're going to be like, oh, now it makes sense. Why didn't I know that? And it gives you a lot of relief, and I feel like it takes away a lot of your frustration or agitation that you may have been feeling. All right, let's see what we have from the, what is this anyway? This is the Gilded Tarot. What else for Taurus? And I feel like many of you, Taurus, like, you can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances, right? I think a lot of times you see the hidden truth behind circumstances within others around you a lot, like all the time. And you're always wanting to call this person out or that person out, maybe not directly, but in your mind, like you're like, that person has this agenda and that person has that agenda. But if it's not affecting you, don't worry about the external stimulation, and change that energy to go inward to find the hidden truth behind your own circumstances. What's the hidden truth? What is it that you need to learn from this situation or this relationship to heal and maybe become like unbound from? You know what I mean? Like, you're kind of bound to something you don't want to be bound to anymore, but you still are. And that's because there's a hidden truth behind it that you still need to learn, find out, and it's not gonna be hidden forever. If you have to ask yourself, do I want the truth? Because if I find out the truth, right, and it doesn't mean it's bad, I don't think it's bad, but if I find out the truth, that means that this circumstance will completely change, right? So say like if I'm not anxious about, say, joining a class or leaving the house or something so that I can go do this other thing, if I'm not anxious about that anymore, right? Then I will leave the house and take this class. So that's a risk. It's not like it's a scary risk, but you'd be meeting new people probably, and doing something new, adapting to a new environment, a new situation, possibly having a new teacher. Say you're taking a class, you have a new teacher, right? So that would mean that you would be out of your comfort zone. This is just an example, but it could be literal for some of you. You would be out of your comfort zone, even though maybe you've been telling yourself, I don't want to be anxious and afraid to leave the house all the time, right? But that becomes your comfort zone. Well, that still can be your comfort zone, but without the anxiety, without the stress. When you work through what your emotional attachment is to not leaving, what makes you feel safe, but also what makes you feel afraid of going out and doing your own thing or doing something different, okay? So this will heal your home space or whatever your comfort zone is, okay? So learning what's behind your stuck circumstances, why you're still in this situation or relationship dynamic. It doesn't mean you're going to break up with someone or leave a relationship. There's something about, for some of you, a relationship dynamic that you're caught in. There's a loop that you're caught in. Like, I'm not going to argue, I'm not going to pick on them, or I'm not going to react to them. And then you do react, and then you end up in this loop, and you're like, I don't want this relationship. Well, it might not be that you don't want that person. It might be that you don't want that interaction. You don't want that loop anymore. So I'm jumping all over here. Take what resonates. If you have questions, comments, please comment below. So if you're the person who doesn't want to leave home, but you've become anxious to leave home, this healing will help your home base, whatever that is, wherever you live, even if you rent a room, it will heal that space. So it will still be comforting to you, but without the negativity of the fear, of the ego, negative ego fear that's holding you back from going out there and doing what you would like to do. Feeling free and not held back. It will heal that space. So it's not like you won't want to be there. Of course, we want to enjoy our home and feel safe there, and you'll still have that and be able to enjoy it, because when you figure out this truth that you need to figure out, it will free you from the anxious thoughts. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, so wow, the Queen of Cups, and there's the emotions, like emotional peace here. This is what we're talking about. Also about intuition and psychic abilities, right? So use your psychic abilities to help you. If you use them to help others, do that if you wish, and protect yourself. And I always ask God, and I put it out there, only bring me information that will help me and those I care about and not drain me. Only bring me information that I need. I don't want to be tapped into every little thing out there, right? That's not productive, and it drains our energy. So for those of you who are finding that your intuition is really heightened nowadays, don't let that trigger worrisome thoughts, okay? Know that you don't have to be in tune with every little thing if it doesn't benefit you or someone you care about, your pets, your family, or you know what I mean? Like, some things are not for us to be involved with, right? Like, say you're sitting there people watching. You might be like, that person over there looks unhappy, or that interaction with those people over there looks like such and such. Yeah, maybe, but that's an observation. Just tell yourself, that's an observation. I'm just observing. I don't really need to know emotionally what's going on over there, whether it's happy or sad. I'm just observing something, but I don't want to take that on. It's not my thing, because then it'll start draining your energy. So that's their thing. You can observe, but not absorb. Absorb that energy and absorb the emotions of other people that you have nothing to do with. Okay, so I guess we're talking here about, protecting our energies when we have high intuition, which I think many of you do. And look at this. This is going to help your relationships with other people. For someone listening, this is really going to help a love relationship. Like I was saying a little while ago, step away in some way when you feel triggered. Go wash your hands, even if you have to take a whole shower. Change the energy, change how you tactilely feel something, with your hands. Warm water, cool water, drink something cool, drink something warm. I'm thinking about feeling something with your hands. Feel something nice, like pet your dog, pet your cat, when you get into that. Because this relationship, and it could be a friendship too, is meant to be harmonious. Something's been getting in the way. One or both of you are getting triggered very easily. Just when you think it won't happen, then it does. That's a beautiful card in this deck. I love the blue. It's very peaceful. I think not just this relationship, for those of you in one, other connections with people are meant to become more harmonious. And we have the Ten of Swords. So those of you who have been going through this difficulty and you're the end of it, it could have gone on for a really long time too, but the tens have to do with being at the end of a cycle. This hidden truth is connected to this card, is what my intuition is telling me. And these swords are divinely being pulled out of this person's back. So if you have felt stabbed in the back, wronged, betrayed a lot in your life, a healing is coming in. Let the healing happen. I feel like many of you have been hanging on to the pain, which is human nature, because sometimes we're afraid that if we don't let go of the pain, we'll be vulnerable to more. So this is finding confidence in yourself that you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You don't have to live with this pain. You're going to be your own parent. You're going to be able to protect yourself because you've learned. We have the Ace of Swords. See, this truth is coming out. It's going to be very obvious, but it's coming to you very peacefully, with very peaceful clarity. I love this card for you, the Eight of Pentacles for Taurus. So doing what you love to do to make money. Money is definitely coming in, and you're finding peace and harmony in your relationship with earning money. Okay, that's important for a lot of you, because I think a lot of you listening have lived with everything seeming to be very hard, making money, relationships, everything. You're learning to trust your inner knowing. Okay, you're learning to trust, like, hey, I'm actually making money doing this. I like it. I want this to continue. So whatever that is, go for it. If you've been considering, doing something, starting a business or doing something creative and selling it, give it a shot. And this is going to help you create a more harmonious relationship with yourself. The Five of Wands, this could have to do with an inner struggle, but this could also have to do with a game with, I'm picturing a game like someone's going to, it's not even basketball season, but I don't know why I pictured a basketball game. Some kind of outdoor sport, I think, because this is very outdoorsy, and it's healthy competition. So you're coming out of like not interacting, but kind of, I don't want to say the word victim, but maybe you have been attacked, and you're coming out of that whole era of your life of being wrongly accused or being attacked, or feeling like you've been treated unfairly, to having healthy competition. I feel like there's like a healthy, fun competition possibly in business for someone listening. Let's get a couple more of these, and then we'll go to Tea Leaf. What else for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and birthday Tauruses. Oops, I'll put that back. That doesn't go there. All right, what else do we have? We have the Moon. Here we go with your intuition again. There's some revelations that, you know, have been hidden, but they're not meant to stay hidden. And this is going to be good. You're on a new path. You are taking one step after the other on this new path. You're coming into some clarity here and emotional peace that is kind of like your safeguard, your almost insurance in a way. You get kind of this insurance somehow that it's safe to start taking steps toward what you want, and you're on a peaceful path. Two of Pentacles, yeah. So here's some money here. I think there's an exchange of money. There's a change in how you receive, how you give and receive money. So I'm not sure what that means. Here we go. This is like a huge clean slate for you. It's the Tower at the bottom of the deck. Oh wow, and look, and we have the Full. New beginning, clean slate, going into new beginnings, okay? So you're not going to be living in so much fear that sometimes we have with a Moon card, but you're going to be tapping into your intuition, and some mental clarity comes in, and you're going to know that, like, this is safe. It is safe to set foot on this path. Let's see what we have from the tea leaf. What else for Taurus? Oops. Come on. Okay. We have the Egg. Yeah. Success assured with good plans and hard work. So yeah, something's going to be revealed to you, and you're going to be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And you start taking steps. I'm picturing someone planning out a schedule. And we have Broken Ring. So parting of the ways, either in romance or business. So what I think is this is parting ways with the way you used to interact with someone important in your life, and you're learning how to communicate in a different way. You're learning, you know, what's all you know, what's you being triggered, and how to work with that, and, you know, what maybe you do need to discuss with a partner, whether it's in business or love or friendship, what you do need to discuss, or maybe what was just something that happened and does not need to be addressed. All you need to do is change your scenery or move out of that situation temporarily to recalibrate. And look, there's so much love in this reading. Okay, you're more accepting of yourself, Taurus. And I feel like there's a better connection with someone important here because you're working on yourself, right? Like, that's what it's all about. That's the hard part. And maybe for some of you, that is the hidden truth behind these circumstances, is that you have to start with yourself, and then maybe you'll see your outside circumstances change, they evolve. Okay, so this is Angel Answers. There is perfect timing for something very soon. This could be an opportunity to meet somebody, make money, or some of you you're out with a friend or someone you're in a relationship with. You might meet someone or see something beautiful in nature, and you're like, oh my gosh, that was perfect timing. If we left 5 minutes later or 5 minutes earlier, we wouldn't have had this opportunity. Okay, if you've been worried about a particular situation, know that this situation will improve. And we have forgiveness. So to me, this is about forgiving yourself. So when you have this new knowledge, these revelations, right? This new knowledge, don't be hard on yourself that you didn't know it before. You didn't have all of the information, and that's why you made certain choices. You can't start focusing on being hard on yourself, because then you're going to stay in that same loop. Forgive yourself. Tell yourself, I didn't have this information before that I have now. So that's okay. That wasn't my fault. I didn't know if I could go back with this new information. Yeah, I would have done it differently, but that's not how it happened. Be nice to yourself. You can acknowledge that. Those feelings, of course you should. Then move on. Move on with your new freedom. Let's see what we have from the Archangel Michael deck. Okay. We have no fear, Taurus, and 14, have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back, okay? So this is the Archangel Michael deck, and Archangel Michael is saying this. I'm going to say it again. Have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back, okay? Beautiful messages, and what an awesome, beautiful way to end this reading, Taurus. Thank you. Let's put this here. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, subscribe. Happy birthday again, and I will see you again soon.